Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Pogome. You're welcome to what? The Chem Lab Chemistry Lecture. Today we're going to be talking about gas laws. Now one of the gas laws we're going to be talking about today is what we call Boyle's law. So we are basically going to be looking at the calculation area of what Boyle's law. But before we can do that, let's look at what Boyle's law says. Now, Boyle's law states that the volume of a given mass of gas is inversely proportional to its pressure. And so it is mathematically expressed as what? Volume inversely proportional to what? Pressure. 1 over what? Pressure. So we can write it this way: V 1 over what? P. And so introducing the constant of proportionality, we would have V equal to what? K over what? P. Now making K the subject of the formula, we will cross multiply, and so K is equal to what? P times what? V. Now because K is equal to what? PV, I can substitute PV for K. Therefore we now have K becomes what? PV, because K is equal to PV, then equal to what? PV. Now it might look as though P is similar, but no. In this case, this P is different from this P. Now this P is called P1, this P is called P2. Why is it that way? It is because the gas in this original form has a particular pressure, but when changes begin to happen in the particular volume, the pressure will most likely what? Change as well. That's why we now have what? A second pressure, what? P2. That is the pressure that it changed to from this what? Original what? Pressure. And then we have V2, which is the volume at that what? Second what? Pressure. So this is the mathematical expression for what? Boyle's law. Now, having said that, let's look at an example under what? Boyle's law, to actually explain better what Boyle's law is what? Saying. So, worked example. 1, 375 cm cube of a gas has a pressure of 770 mmHg, millimeter mercury. Find its volume if the pressure is reduced to 750 mmHg. Now, to solve this, first of all, I always tell my students that you bring out the parameters first of all. So in this case, we have 375 cm cube. Now cm cube, that tells you that that's the volume. So that's the first volume, which is the original volume of what? The gas. And then it said it has a pressure, that's the original pressure, P1 equal to what? 770 mmHg. Now the question says find its volume if the pressure is reduced to 750 millimeter what? Hg. So find its volume. That is the volume that it changed to. V2 at what pressure? That is the pressure that results from that volume that it changed to. 750 watts mmHg. Now, when we look at this question, you notice that the parameters that we have here, V1, P1, V2, P2, are all in the what? Mathematical expression of what? Boyle's law, which is the formula P1, V1, P2, V2. So this is what we use to solve this particular question. So we now have P1, V1 equal to P2, V2. Now P1 is what? 770 times V1 is what? 375 equal to P2 is what? 750 times V2. We don't know V2, that's what we're looking for. So this times this will give us what? 288,750 equal to 750 V2. At this point, we apply change of subject formula, or we make V2 the subject of the formula because it is V2 that we are actually looking for. Now, to do that, we divide both sides by the what? Coefficient of what? V2. And the coefficient of V2 in this case is what? 750. So it means that we'll divide the left-hand side by 750, we'll divide the right-hand side by 750. Therefore, we have divide by 750, divide by 750. So 750 divided 750, that one is out. We're left with what? V2 on this right-hand side. Now, at this side, some of us are going to say, oh, we have 750 here, we have 750 here, so let's cancel. No, it doesn't work like that. If you do that, you're going to get the answer wrong. So what do? You divide it normally as it's supposed to be. So when we divide 288,750 by 750, we would have 385. So V2 is equal to 385 cm3. Now, let's see whether we have successfully been able to what? Practically apply what? Boyle's law. Now look at this question. 375 cm3 was the original volume of the what? Gas. Now, the volume it changed to was now what? 385. So, between these two, which one is highest? Is higher. It is what? V2, right? So, it means that the volume has increased. Now, as the volume has increased, what happened to the pressure? Now, the pressure at the original volume, that original volume which was lower, the pressure was 770. But when the volume changed, that is when the volume increased, what happened to the pressure? The pressure was reduced. And from our statement of Boyle's law, we said that the volume is inversely proportional to the what? Pressure. That is, as the volume increases, the pressure what? Reduces. Or as the volume reduces, the pressure what? Increases. So automatically, this question has helped us to what? Prove the validity of what? Boyle's law. And it is applicable in every aspect as long as temperature remains what? Constant. When the volume increases, the pressure will reduce. And when the volume reduces, the pressure would increase.